Chocolate is one of the world's most beloved snacks and desserts. According to Statista, in 2011, 482,000 tons of chocolate were exported just to Germany, which is one of the chocolate capitals of the world. So, it only seems fitting that one of the biggest tourist attractions in Cologne, Germany, is a museum devoted to chocolate. The Chocolate Museum was founded in 1993 by Dr. Hans Imhoff. Imhoff grew up next to Stolwerk Chocolate Factory, which is how he fell in love with the sweet treat. When the factory fell apart in 1972, he took it upon himself to save it. In addition to restoring Stolwerk's success, he had also opened up a chocolate and sugar factory himself. His work in this chocolate industry ultimately led him to create the world's first chocolate museum, which brings in around 650,000 visitors a year. 3 stories high, the Chocolate Museum has a gift shop, restaurants, a garden, and everything one would want to know about chocolate. The museum walks guests through the history and the production of the candy. Kelly Rainville, a student at Emerson College, went to the museum while in Cologne and found her experience exceeded expectations.
I loved the fact that it wasn't just like free samples of chocolate, because that's what I expected when I went. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, this is when raspberry-filled chocolates were invented, and this is when coconut-filled chocolates were invented, but it wasn't. It was much more in-depth about like the history of where chocolate came from and cocoa beans and that kind of stuff, which was a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
Partnered with Linton Hustle, tourists can see how 2 popular chocolate brands make their goods all the way from the cocoa bean to the packaging. While walking through the museum, guests can look at chocolate creations made for the museum itself. Visitors can also take part in interactive exhibits that allow you to choose the information you take in and quiz yourself on chocolate. Geared towards children, you can test out the scents of different ingredients in chocolate and play other games. On a higher educational level, there are numerous pieces designed to illustrate chocolate production around the world, the importance of chocolate trade before it was brought to Europe, and how chocolate impacts culture in different countries.
My favorite thing about the Chocolate Museum was that they showed chocolate from different cultures around the world, and I thought that that was super interesting because it was very different from the way we eat chocolate, which is the only way that I've ever known, so I never really thought about how people interact with chocolate in different parts of the world.
If you want to take your chocolate experience to the next level, the museum also offers classes on making chocolate and desserts made with chocolate, tastings, and special exhibitions that vary season to season. Currently taking place is the Easter exhibit in order to celebrate the upcoming holiday. While the Chocolate Museum is fun, it has a strong goal to educate. It offers special materials for schools who take trips to the Chocolate Museum and extra literature for guests to access. They have a goal to make sure that everyone who visits can walk away with a new nugget of knowledge. They cater to all interests, housing information on history, culture, famous figures, branding, producing, and even chocolate on television and the marketing of chocolate.
It's really interesting because I'm a marketing major, so I was able to go back to class and like tell my peers about it and my teachers, and they were like pretty impressed that I was like, oh, I know all this stuff about the advertisement of chocolate.
Filled with activities for people of all ages, the Chocolate Museum is a unique attraction. It increased tourism in Cologne and highlights Germany as one of the world's leading chocolate producers. With Emerson College, I'm Maddie Crichton.